up, everybody, and welcome back to Planners and Wine. My name is Meg.
And I am Myra. Welcome back. Happy 2025
Happy
and
New
welcome
Year.
to season 6.
Yeah, six. Is it six?
Yeah. hmm
No way.
Yeah.
Did you
Well, when we
count?
started in 2020, that was like season 1, but it was only a few months.
Yeah.
And then we started like,
22,
so
23, 24.
this will be
Season
6.
6. Yep, that's
hmm
crazy. Crazy to think about. But yeah, guys,
Yeah.
welcome back. We hope that y'all had a happy and safe holiday. We definitely did. Went by way
hmm
too fast. Kind of sad about it that it's already over. We took a long time to take down our Christmas tree. We just took it down a couple days ago, and I was really sad to see it go.
So you got an extra week
Yeah,
with it. Yeah, I took it down the
yeah.
weekend, that first Saturday in January. And it's like, well, I guess back to
Back to the
chaos.
grind. I know.
Yeah.
Back to real life. Back to real life. But man, so much has happened over these few weeks. A lot of time when we take our like winter break from the podcast, it's a very slow time in the world and not a
hmm
lot transpires. This was not that. This was
hmm
not that. I had to make a ton of adjustments to our show notes over that time because yeah, like things were just moving and things were just happening in the world. So obviously we're not going to be able to talk about everything, but we're going to talk about all the things that, we that are most important to us that we think are the most important. So
And this is why you should be joining the Patreon, because our peeps, we got to talk about all of this in real time as it
we
was
did.
happening.
Mhm.
So if you want to hear like when the world goes crazy and we have breaks,
Yeah.
that is the perfect way to do so. Especially now since we have our Discord going and everything.
Yo, you look, I'm starting to think that me and Myra are able to predict the future because I mean, well, I guess we probably could have, predicted that Mark Zuckerberg was gonna turn out to be a total and complete asshole and completely turn
That
everybody
wasn't
off of
hard.
Meta.
Yeah.
But luckily, we had already before that decided to make the transition away from Facebook and onto Discord. So we do still have our Patreon Facebook group. We will have it, for the next couple of weeks or months. We're just gonna kind of play it by ear, but we are trying to move our community over to Discord. It's just a lot better place. It's just, I mean, the features are amazing.
hmm
It's been so fun, interactive, having all the different channels for all of our and our patrons interest in everything. It's just been amazing. So if you join
Yeah.
our Patreon and you join the Facebook group and it's a little quiet, that's because all the action is happening in the Discord, and the Patreon and the Facebook group will eventually cease to exist. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as new patrons, you would kind of be directed towards the Discord. But like Meg said, it is still there. So if you want to pop in, it is there. But I think everybody is really enjoying the Discord. We've had a
mhm.
handful of people that were like, yeah, I never came over to Facebook because I don't have it, but now I get to kind of interact because,
Yep.
you're over on Discord. I was actually surprised with how many people already had Discord when
I
we went to like
know.
activate it to our Patreon. So I think that's was one of the reasons that kind of like held us back, because we've thought about this a few years ago to like kind of switch over. But
Mhm.
we were worried that, people wouldn't be used to that platform. It's not really something that's talked about within the planner community too much. So
Mhm.
but they proved us wrong because it was
Yeah.
like 15, 20 people that
Yep.
automatically went in like, oh, so y'all know what y'all doing.
I
Okay.
know, and it's just been so nice. We even experimented the other night with just having like a random, like, what would you call it? Like a live chat or something like that. I don't know what to call
Yeah.
it.
I mean, if you're not familiar with Discord, they have voice channels and text channels. So we kind of hopped in a
Mhm.
voice channel. We can turn our cameras on, but it kind of felt more like a phone call kind of
Literally,
thing.
it was
Yeah.
like a multi-person phone call.
Yeah.
Like I was like cooking and sitting on the couch. It was very
Mhm.
informal, just talking about just all the things, planner community, drag race, like all the things. So
Yeah,
it was
legit.
lit.
Yeah. It was a good time, and it's nice to be a little bit more casual and to let our
Mm-hmm.
community kind of be in, cuz when we do our lives it's more kind of like this if you're watching on YouTube and
Yeah,
our folks get to chat in the chat, which is cool, but it's a different interaction when you can hear each other's voices.
I
Yeah.
know. It was so nice. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about doing more. And let me say, if you're interested in joining our Patreon right now, is a great time to do it. plannersandwine.com/pay no, patreon.com slash planners and wine, but
You can find it on plannersandwine.com too.
you can find it on
Yeah.
our website as well. But yeah, definitely go ahead and join the fun. The only rule is don't be an asshole.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. And so yeah, we are trying to move away from meta as much as possible. But we'll talk about that a little bit later in the
Yes.
show. Myra, anything else for the peeps before we take our first little break? I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything since we've been out of the groove for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, you can join over on Patreon for free too. I'm going to try to start posting a little bit more, like, I don't know, behind the scenes or just a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of like, I
A
don't
little
know, freebie
something.
stuff. Yeah, a little something, something. So if you aren't financially able to take the leap, you can join for free and still kind of be in the know. Um, Watch over on YouTube.
Yeah.
That is helping us a lot. You don't have to sit there and watch us. You can throw us up on TV and do what you do, like you do with any
Mm-hmm.
other podcast. And I think that's it. I don't think
Yeah.
we have any other like planners and wine news for, you know.
No.
Yeah.
No, look, no news is good news
Yeah.
nowadays, so I'm okay with that. Well, yeah, guys, on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. All right, y'all. So we are back. And before we get into the episode, we have to talk about what our friends over at Plum Paper have going on right now. They have sponsored this episode, and we just got to tell y'all all the cool things that they are doing. In case y'all haven't already, if you've been procrastinating a little bit, it's not too late. Still get your 2025 planner, and you don't even have to get a January start. You can have it start whatever month you want. That's one of the many really cool customizations offered over at Plum Paper.
Yeah, that's truly what makes them unique. Actually, shameless plug, but I actually talked about this in my newsletter, is that it's okay to start slow. I think a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things that kind of maybe stop us, especially as planner people, is like, oh, it's January 16th and I
Mm-hmm.
haven't started. So up this planner is basically trash because I didn't start at the beginning of January. But you don't have that problem with Plum Paper because you can legit hell, if you buy it today, I think you can get a February start and have it before February because they are
Mm-hmm.
pretty quick with getting things out.
Agreed.
With it being
Agreed.
customized, which is amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can pick your start month, planner size, length, cover, binding, and a lot of other options. They really are
Mhm.
limitless. They have a ton of different layouts for you to choose from, and even within every layout, you can have your own customizations there as well. It's really no excuse not to just
Yeah,
use
it's
Plum
not.
Paper.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
custom holidays. So you can even put in birthdays if you like to see
Mm-hmm.
those printed on the calendar. I love having like a section in my weekly layouts, like specifically for Ashton. So if you have
Yes.
kiddos, you can break it down by each child. It's just endless possibilities you can do with the planner.
Exactly. And that's not even to mention all the tons of add-ons that you can add to the back of your planner. Some of the add-ons you can add throughout the planner. So if you want coloring pages, additional notes, things for financial planning, social media, school, home, cleaning. I literally can't even sit here and name all the add-ons because it's too many.
Yeah, or make it yourself. Like you can do dot grid if you want to have
Mhm.
some Bujo pages in there. You can totally do that too. Like yeah, it's just so many options you can do with all of the different add-ons. Like no one will have a planner like you.
Truly.
No one will have a planner like you. It's completely yours.
Exactly, exactly. And they also have a bunch of new sticker kits. So they have some specifically for people who work in healthcare, self-care, spring, weekly sticker kits, The possibilities are endless. Plum Paper really is a one-stop shop for all your planner needs, because you can get so many accessories and stickers. Make sure y'all head over to plumpaper.com to shop. They are always having some type of sales or something going on, so definitely check them out to see what they have going on. And your friends at Planners and Wine are always going to let you know when they have a sale or something like that, so you can get a little bit of discount. And you can use our affiliate link to get, is it 10% off, Myra? I can't remember.
It is 10% off, and the link will be in the show notes or in the description, or I'll pin it on the comment if y'all are watching over on YouTube. For easy access, y'all can go ahead and shop and get a little bit of a discount.
Yes, make sure you let them know that your friends at Planners and Wine sent you. So let's get going with this first episode of 2025. Lordy, this feels so weird to say that.
Yeah, I mean, like, even with this being season 6, like, I had to even double check. Like, that's what's like, yeah, it's 6. But it's so weird to say. It's officially been like, what, a month since we recorded, technically?
I think so, yeah.
Because I think we did it like somewhere mid-December, because we did like a 2-parter or whatever. But
longest episode of all time.
Yeah.
But it was so fun.
Watch that if you haven't already.
Yes, definitely check that out. Okay, so like I said, the world kind of turned upside down a little bit over the break. So much is going on, but let's just start with our planner community. After months of silence and speculation, we finally got an announcement for Go Out 2025. If you're living under a rock, maybe you have not seen the announcement, but it is official that the next Go Out will be in Indianapolis, Indiana. I always feel like that's like a tongue twister for me to say that, because I say it so rarely. Because I've never been there.
I always say Indy. I always forget that it's in Indiana. I literally just always say Indy.
So when you say Indy, you're talking about Indianapolis, not the whole state of Indiana.
Correct. Yeah.
Good to know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yay, that's the location. To your point, like, the radio silence was just a huge turnoff for me. We just go get right into it. It was a huge turnoff. I had the same smoke for when CPC went radio silent after COVID, and honestly, I could give CPC more of a pass because COVID, nobody expected that.
Yeah.
But this is a lot of money for an event. There are loyal people that go, just about every year. There's this community that you are like basically getting money from, and just to like not say anything. Like, legit, I mean, we didn't even wrap up Dallas for real, because a week before Wild was announced is when we finally got the photos. We did not have photos for Dallas when we recorded last.
Yeah, it was definitely a big letdown for me as well, because I feel like if the only update that you have is that, hey, we're working on stuff, that's an update. That's better than
it's
nothing.
Yeah.
And the way that, the comments started really going rampant in the alumni group from this past year and stuff, and there was still just so much silence, and it really got to a point where people were like straight up going off in the group talking about, this is why I'd rather do this thing and this conference and all this type of stuff. And I just feel like it shouldn't have to get to that in order for somebody on the team to finally say something. And yeah, it was a big letdown. And I mean, I know y'all know, full transparency, we've obviously worked with WOW over the last couple of years, and we didn't even know anything. So it's not like people who worked with them had any type of like extra insight. It's not like people who work from them were trying to like hide anything or anything like that. Like, I got updates as quickly as everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? So there was nothing for even like, as far as I know, like shops that they work with, I don't know that they got any additional information or anything like that either. So yeah, that was definitely a letdown, for sure. The dates are in May now. It's actually the same weekend as my cousin's wedding in Denver. So yeah, besides even everything else, like the dates just don't work. So I'm disappointed. I'm really sad to not be going to go out this year. I'm not gonna lie. But there's a lot of things that are disappointing besides just that, to be honest.
Yeah, it just kind of feels weird, end of the era ish, because we have been like, we kind of operate around wild. Not
Mm-hmm.
that's probably not the best choice of words, but it was kind of a staple of something that we anticipated doing every year,
It
if
was
that makes sense.
definitely a
Yeah.
priority for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it, like, as far as like conferences, we were like, wow, and maybe something else kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is weird to not be going, but the way they were moving was kind of weird. I wouldn't even feel comfortable saying that I would go. I wouldn't be comfortable spending my money at this point. I wouldn't be comfortable announcing that
Mm-hmm.
we would be there, because it just doesn't feel right. The way things are moving is just, it's off. And I'm really big on respecting people's time and
Mm-hmm.
respecting, I guess, people's money as well. Like, if you buy a ticket and you travel, you fly, you pay for a hotel, you're probably going to spend a week. That's, your PTO, that's, money that's coming out of your pocket too. And
Mm-hmm.
we're talking 1,500, 2,000. Don't be out of the country, because it's even
Yeah.
more then. And for it, I don't know, it feels kind of like a slap in the face to just go radio silent like that and just pop up like, hey, here we are. It kind of
Yeah.
gave the feeling like, oh, y'all gonna buy these tickets regardless, so we don't have to respect your time and money.
Yeah. Yeah. What I mean, yeah, exactly. And I definitely I something I'm big on is transparency as
Hmm.
well. And I feel like there has still just been a lack of like transparency. And not to say, no business is obligated to tell all their customers everything that's going on behind the scenes, but something that we gathered from some automatic email responses is that some of the core team is not even a part of WoW anymore, or at least not a part of this upcoming conference. And I think that's something that's important to let your audience know
Hmm.
personally. Um, yeah, and I don't know. To me, it's a little bad faith to sell tickets and to not have officially put that out there.
I will say this: I am excited for the people who are excited to be there. I want folks to have a good time. I want it. I want people to feel the wild magic that we have experienced. But yeah, I guess for me as well, timing just does not work. May is just a crazy month.
Yeah.
Graduations, Mother's Day, um, just end of the school year. We have a lot of
Mhm.
teachers in the community, so May is not a good time. And then with the, because I feel like in the past few years we've at least had what, like, maybe 9 to 7 months
Mhm.
from announcing where it would be to like the actual event. So you
Yeah.
had a little bit more time to kind of keep your options open. But I have something in June. I can't swing both.
Mhm.
Um, and I just feel like it just really wasn't enough time to allow people to prepare for such a big ticket price event.
Agree. Yeah, I kind of expected, since it was announced so much later than what it typically has been over the last couple of years post COVID. I kind
Hmm.
of expected it to have been pushed back a little bit more to accommodate for that, but it was only pushed back a month
Yeah.
from when it normally is, and yet tickets are going on sale 4 months after it normally does. So yeah, the timing just doesn't work, and I'm sad because we've been to Go Out the last couple of years. We had fantastic times at Go Out, and it's
Yeah.
just not gonna work for us this year. But if y'all are attending, definitely let us know. Hope y'all have a blast. Um, but yeah, I'm transparency is important. Transparency is important. And like I said, I definitely think that people would have appreciated more updates as far as what was going on, as far as why It was pushed back so much later than what it typically is announced, and also just the whatever is happening with the team behind the scenes, as far as some people leaving or whatever. I think additional transparency with that would make me feel a lot better just moving forward. But you can tell people how to run their business, and at the end of the day, I hope they do well and I hope they succeed. But
yeah, let us know if you're going. Definitely connect with people before, so you can have a sense of community once you get there, because it can
yes.
sometimes be a bit overwhelming depending on what the size is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wish I could tell y'all stuff to do in Indy. I've been there several times. It's only a couple hours out, but
You said Children's Museum.
Children's Museum is lit for families.
For families.
Yeah.
Families come to Wild. So, it's
Yeah,
something. Yeah. Anyway, we had to start on that. We had to get that out of the way. It's sorry if it's a low point for us for sure, because we're not going to be going this year. Definitely sad, but hopefully the rest of the episode can kind of bring the mood and the vibes back up. Because I still have not forgot how Beyonce and Blue Ivy ate the girls up on Christmas. And yes, we're gonna talk about it, even though it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, damn near 3 weeks by the time y'all are hearing this too. But it was such a good time. The Beyonce Bowl. I was like, you post in the chat, like, oh my God, Blue. And I'm like, is my TV behind? I missed her. Like, she blended in so well. She was supposed to be there, that I missed her the first time. I didn't see her the very first time she showed up until my second watch through. And
she blended in, but they still made her stand out because she didn't have on the hat and the wig like everybody else did. And she did her mom's choreography like during like the My House part, which I was like, oh, I knew somebody was driving. Yes. Give the torch to your daughter. Yes. But yeah, I didn't notice her because she was at the very beginning of Yaya when they say, hello, girls, hello, B. She was right there. I did not see her there. I did not see her until they started like full out dancing and doing like the My House part of that. Oh my God. And it was just so nice to see her all throughout the performance. And we know that Blue Ivy probably begged to be a part of this, and her mom was like, okay, you got to work and you got to learn it, and she did that. So it was so good. It was so good.
One thing B is gonna do, she is not gonna let her babies be nepo babies. I mean, they are nepo babies, but she gonna make them work for it.
They still gonna earn it.
They still
gonna work and earn it. Yes, they're not gonna be out there half-ass and not doing what they're supposed to do. Like, no, she is going to earn it. And it was so nice seeing the ladies who sang on the album out there during Blackbird, and then seeing Shabuzi and Post Malone, even though I really wanted Miley. Post Malone was great. Post Malone was still great. That was fine. Miley was so busy having
If we had to pick the duo, definitely would have picked Miley, but maybe she was.
I would have cried. I would have cried if she would have Miley and they sang Too Most Wanted, but it was great because I love Levi's Jeans. That's one of my favorite songs on the album too. So I'm gonna let her rock. But yeah, it was good.
Cute.
Unfortunately, it started weeks of discourse on TikTok because these wannabe activists can't just let nobody enjoy nothing and have fun and be happy, especially not Black people. But we're not even gonna get into that because it has literally taken over the last couple weeks.
We can't relate to Beyonce because she went to private school and grew up in a middle class home.
Because that's clearly not a Black experience.
Because we're all from the hood.
Nobody went to private school ever, girl.
Government cheese.
And no shade, obviously, to
no shade, obviously, yeah.
But just to say that that's not like a Black experience is not like middle class. Like, yeah, we're not even gonna get into the discourse, but it was a complete shit show on TikTok for the last couple weeks for the season finale of TikTok. I have blocked so many creators over the past 2 months on TikTok. I don't lost count. It's crazy.
Now America is about to give us the ultimate block.
Yeah. All that for nothing. But I'm still blocking to until they take it
till the
from
lights
me.
go off.
The block is still hot. Okay. I don't care that it's only a couple days left. You can still get this block.
That was so just like sometimes people need internet access revoked because I like y'all be think piecing
To death.
too damn hard.
Mm-hmm. To death. What I really hate is when I see a think piece and somebody only got like a piece of the story, because don't get me wrong, as much as I'm complaining about this, I was fully locked in and I saw every side of it, and I did not let this story go. I mean, I literally turned it every way but loose. I was locked in. So I got all the point of views. But for you to make a think piece and you don't have all the point of views, that's what really pisses me off. You don't even know, you just talking out your ass. You're just talking outside of your neck. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about if you don't even know really. You just taking a piece of something and running with it. That annoys me.
I block those people too.
Yeah.
Because you're too lazy to even figure out what's going on.
But like, you're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it'd be late. Because some people been late with it. And it's like, why you... If you couldn't get this on time...
Maybe they synced it on Instagram first. That's why they late.
And then they jumped on TikTok. They could have kept that. But yeah, so by the time this episode comes out, we will know whatever Beyonce's announcement is on January the 14th.
Man, that's such a time. I wish we could, have known before recording, but
we can talk about our prediction. We can make our final predictions and see how fucking wrong we are, because we never know what Beyonce is doing. That'll be fun to look back on. So what do you think? Just one prediction. What do you think she's going to announce on the 14th?
My Delulu wants it to be a tour, so I'm going to stick beside the tour.
Okay.
I have the logical side of me is saying no to that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick beside it because I always stick beside the Delulu side.
Period. And you know what? I'm going to let my Delulu lead as well. And while I will be pleasantly surprised if it's a tour, I don't think it's going to be a tour. I think we're going to finally get a visual of something. Who knows what else? What? Either a visual of Cowboy Carter or a visual of Act 3. I don't know. I think it's going to be some sort of visual. But I'll be happy with anything.
While I love Cowboy Carter more than Renaissance, would have preferred to have a visual for Renaissance over Cowboy
We
Carter.
were the visual.
I don't like that. I want your version of the visuals. And I get that you're saying that this is your version, but
y'all gotta let that go.
I know I have to let it go. But like, if I had to pick,
she told us and she gave us a tour. That is the visual. That's the visuals we're gonna get, y'all. But we'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah, either way, it's gonna be. I don't feel like I'll be disappointed, whatever it is. Honestly.
No. There will be no disappointment whatsoever. But
But we need to know, because we need to start making plans for whatever the trip gonna be this year.
Because I've been trying to save my money. Yeah, I've been trying to save my money in anticipation of whatever Beyonce got going on. So I will definitely appreciate knowing, and we'll definitely talk about the details on the next episode. So at least we'll know. Also, since we've been on our break, a new season of The Traitors has premiered on Peacock. Look, shout out to Peacock. They are quickly becoming my favorite place for reality television, because you can watch so much Bravo stuff on Peacock. That's how I really got up on Vanderpump Rules. Also The Traitors. And yeah, this season is off to a fantastic start. Myra is watching and locked in, thanks to Bob the Drag Queen. And
shout out to my cousin. In my head, it's not really my cousin.
You're like, wait, Myra, what? Did he wait? That was the tea.
But man, I'm gonna have to go back to season 2. I think based off of what you said with season 1, I'll probably just skip that. But I know my heart is gonna break on season 2 because I know they screwed Peppermint over.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough one. And I didn't even know
that don't happen with
Peppermint like that, but just seeing like them and how they carried themselves and presented themselves, like I really, really like Peppermint, and I was really pissed off with what happened. And then the person who was mainly responsible for what happened to Peppermint, went on to win, which
Bitch.
sucked.
Yeah.
Was horrible. But it was a good season overall because Phaedra from Real Housewives of Atlanta, she did not come to play at all. At all. So she's worth the watch for sure.
So I'm hoping Bob can have some revenge.
I hope so
Although,
too.
spoiler alert, you might
Mhm.
want to fast forward because we gonna be talking about this. But I don't know. Some people are clocking, but I
Okay.
don't know if it's gonna stand.
Every season, for at least for the past 2 seasons, there have been like a good old boy, goody two shoes, who has led the charge of the faithfuls. Last season it was Pilot Pete from The Bachelor, and this season it's this guy Dylan who seems to be clocking.
Not good old boy.
Get him out of here. Get him out. But it sucks because once that person starts calling out somebody that we know is a traitor, it's really dicey for the traitors to try to get rid of that person.
Yeah, because it's a dead giveaway
So
at
it's
that
a
point. Yeah.
dead giveaway. So one mistake I think that Bob has made so far in the last roundtable on episode 3, I didn't like him saying out loud that he knows that Dylan isn't a traitor. How do you know that? You don't know. You're
I
a
don't think
traitor.
nobody
You're
else
not
on
supposed,
the table
nobody
caught
else
that.
clocked it, but I'm just saying, like, he
Yeah.
still shouldn't even put that out there. You know what I'm saying? I just think that was a huge mistake. And that was something that happened last season too, with a traitor straight up verbatim telling Pilot Pete, I know that you're not a traitor. Why are you accusing me so hard? Don't do that. You don't know shit. You don't know shit because you're not supposed to be a traitor. How do you know that he's not a traitor? How do you know that this isn't a big ruse? Like, don't have, because my thing is, even if nobody like clocked that, people could still clock that this is somebody that everybody can trust. And so if they all trust the Dylan guy, they're all going to believe him. And if he is pointing the finger at Bob the drag queen every week, people are going to start listening eventually. Don't put that out there in the ether that he can be trusted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just by nature of who he is. That's not good. That helps him. It does not help you. So I think he
I'm
was trying to
wondering.
do it just to kind of soften him, but
Yeah.
it didn't work. It didn't
Yeah.
work. So
Misguided is epic though.
I love that. I
Welcome to the stage,
laughing if I was at
Misguided.
the table. I would have died laughing. Oh, I love it so
But
much.
I'm wondering if Dylan has the confidence enough to get people to trust him or get people on his side. Because I feel like even throughout all, I mean, Bob is a huge personality, and Dylan was never going to get the best of somebody like Bob, but he is very timid and reserved. So I'm wondering if he's going to be able to move the table, kind of like how Backwards Hat Dude did.
See, and that's what I'm saying. He has like a trustworthy like aura about
Like
him.
the baby face kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
and I
Yeah.
feel like Bob saying out loud, I don't even think that you're a traitor. I know that you're not a traitor. Like, I feel like that just kind of adds to that. And I think maybe not right away, because even last season, like right away, people weren't, really listening to Pilot Pete. But eventually, especially once they kept getting it wrong and sending Faithful after Faithful home, they got kind of desperate. And they was like, okay, maybe we need to start listening to him. He seems trustworthy. We know he's not a faithful. So, you know what I'm saying? I think eventually people will start listening to that person, which is why I'm like, is it worth it to just go ahead and get him the hell up out of here? Because then at least Bob can kind of be like, well, if I was a traitor, why would I kill him? That would be so obvious.
Yeah.
That's very dicey. That's very dicey to do that.
It is pretty
He
dicey.
on him. He is on him.
Trader's goal right now is to try to like turn the tides against Dylan.
No, literally. That's why putting stuff out there like, I know you're not a faithful is not a good idea. Run that back. Yes, he is.
Now, did he say think or that he knows?
I'm not sure of his exact verbiage.
Yeah.
He either said, I know you're not a faithful, or I don't think that you're a faithful. One of them. But either one, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I think, and also I think behind the scenes, I think Bob and Danielle both are kind of overplaying a little bit. They need to sit back and let Rob and Carolyn do some of the dirty work. They don't need to be responsible for every decision that I think they're trying to control too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they have that kind of personality,
They
which I
do.
kind of like them as the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic duo. But I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm hoping that both of them can start to peep that, especially after this last episode,
Yes.
and kind of get together and be like, let's let these two kind of take the reins for a little bit. Because I feel like both Danielle and Bob are smart enough to start to pick up, like, okay, people are clocking, but they
For
ain't clocking
sure.
the other two. So let's like kind of chill for a bit.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm really excited.
Interesting.
I love this cast. I was so excited to see Wes from the challenge and Derek from Big Brother. Y'all, me and Myra were texting about this, and she was like, she had watched it before I did. She was like, "Yeah, they added in these three white men," and I'm just like, "Whatever." And I was like, "Really? Why did they add it?" And then I saw who the three white men were, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Myra, this is good. Trust me, this is good."
Yeah, y'all I don't do too much reality TV, so they just three white men to me.
I was ready to write them off until I saw who it was, and I literally gagged. I was like, "Myra, this is good. Trust me."
I mean, I kind of figure. I think it's Wes. Wes is the red hair, right?
Yes, he
I
crazy.
kind
He's
of
on House of the
figured.
Villain with
Yeah.
Tafari in New York this season.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
usually it's the redheads
Yeah,
that like shake some shit up.
for real. And
Yeah.
that's why it's kind of bad that he's not a traitor.
Yeah, I feel like he would have been better.
I think
But
he would have
although,
been.
what is the
Yeah.
backwards hat dude name?
Boston Rob. Boston
Boston
Rob. Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
He's a fucking problem because he
He
literally
is.
said one sentence and the whole table was like, let's go with what he said.
Yes, exactly.
He is a
Exactly.
problem.
Yeah, and when that other survivor guy got put out, I felt bad for him. I was almost in tears. I was like, "Damn, why is it so sad? It's only the third episode."
I felt so bad because it's like he wasn't really defending himself. And I think that's why
Mm-mm.
everybody was like, he didn't really say nothing. So I guess Tony.
I mean, it gets to a point, and you'll see this as the season progresses, where people don't know. So they just, if your name gets put out there, and as enough people are convincing enough, they just gonna vote for you just for the hell of it.
It's literally
Just for
Among
the
Us.
hell of it. But yeah, because you just
You
don't
just don't
know.
know.
And that's
Yeah.
why people are like, look, I'm voting for you. I'm sorry if you're not a traitor. What can they do? Like, what's the point of throwing a random? And that was another mistake I feel like Bob kept making is throwing somebody's name out there, but then not voting for the person whose name he's putting out there.
Yeah, because I think he voted Ivor both
Yes, and
times.
didn't say anything against Ivor at the second round table. He was like, "What, you vote for me again?"
Yeah, I think he said something like, "Oh, I didn't get to like state my case, but I'm voting him again."
The whole point of the round table is to state your damn case. Like, come
but yeah,
on. Yeah,
I guess he
I
spent the
wasn't
whole time trying to defend himself.
exactly. And I think at the first round table, he did get to talk a little bit about Ivor, but
Mhm.
as Dylan pointed out, you kind of threw shade at who did he throw in the bus at first? Was it West? Not West, it was Wells.
Yeah,
Yeah, he threw Wells out there, got Wells up out of there, but then he didn't even vote for Wells. Like that was really weird. I agree with Dylan. That was moving kind of weird for sure.
Mhm.
So, especially if you saw the tides turning against Wells, like it'd be different if you couldn't convince anybody, so then you change your vote. But you had convinced a majority of people to vote Wells out, but you didn't even vote Wells out. That's weird. That is weird. So,
I find it
Bob got to be
interesting.
consistent.
Yeah, I find it interesting that people aren't pointing the finger at Robin.
Who you think? Because Wells tried. Who was it who tried to?
I
Somebody
feel
tried
like
to, right?
Wells. I think it was Wells who tried to
Yeah,
like kind of point it back, but she kind of took over the conversation from Bob on Wells.
she did.
And I think she did the same thing with uh baby Dylan.
Dylan, yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting that her name isn't really coming up. But I mean, they right, but
I think I think they overplayed by killing two housewives in a row because I feel like the reality, like the competition people forget that like the people who are on Housewives and The Bachelor, like dating shows and stuff, they are not savvy like this. And I think Phaedra from last season kind of really put a target on the back of the housewives, making them seem more savvy than what they actually are when it comes to stuff like this. Phaedra is just a savvy person. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
that
it's
she's
just
on the
her.
housewife.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with her being a housewife, like, housewife. But like the other housewives are not like that. So like to think that as close as the housewives generally are on this show, that they're just gonna start killing each other one by one just to kind of, I don't know, not arise. I don't know. I don't know what they would think Robin's motivation would be for killing two housewives in the row. That just makes no sense to me if she was actually a traitor,
Yeah, but
I don't get it.
also because it makes no sense, it would be a good traitor move. So I
Yeah,
think that's what they're thinking, but I don't know. They got to chill on the housewives for
they
real.
gotta chill on the house because what y'all gonna do? It's only four of them, so y'all
And y'all
already
cut
got
off
two
half of them.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already have two out, and if one is a traitor, like y'all got to chill on the housewives. So yeah, I didn't think that made a ton. Because my thing is like Danielle's whole thing is because I think they brought up killing Brittany from Big Brother, and Danielle was like, "Well, if we kill Brittany, they're gonna think that I did it." Okay, because y'all are like enemies though. But I don't know. It's just weird. I just feel like the logic was being applied to certain situations, but not other situations, and it's like similar logic. So yeah. I don't know. I feel like she should just go
It's
bring
pure
it out of here.
chaos right now,
It
honestly.
is. It's so many
Yeah.
people. It's hard. It really, really is hard. But
Yeah.
I'm sad that they kind of own to Bob and Danielle as early as they are, and I hope that they're able to do something
Racism.
about it. Girl, that's I mean, I say that, but you know what? We can't even say that because Bob and Danielle been both moving so
They
messy.
have.
They've been doing so much. They've been doing so much. Like
the crying sent me.
Girl, the crying. When Danielle was at the breakfast and she was like, I mean, because y'all know I'm not a traitor. And Boston Rob was just like, girl,
Bitch, yeah.
Danny, you got to chill, bro. Like her and Bob been laying it on thick. And so I think Danielle's behavior at breakfast is putting the target on her, and Bob's behavior at the round table is starting to put a target on him. They both got to just chill a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. But it's been extra entertaining. So
yeah, because they are some messy people. Like honestly, I feel like the Traitors are perfectly picked.
Yeah. See, and here's the thing. I think the only one that I was kind of surprised that they picked for a traitor was Danielle, because I feel like if you know anything about her from Big Brother, she is like an obvious traitor. She would be an obvious person to be a traitor. But then I know a ton of the cast don't know anything about her, especially like these like housewives and stuff like that. So it's not obvious to them. But I personally, I love Danielle. I did not want her to be a traitor because I think she would have been a really good faithful, and I wanted her to make it really far. And I feel like, especially with Brittany being on the cast, as they have their little like rivalry, I'm shocked that Brittany hasn't been the person to kind of like sniff her out. At least not from what we've seen. So
I wonder if Brittany trying to not be the villain in this situation, so she's kind of pulling back.
Play it cool.
Yeah.
I think she's kind of planning to play it cool. But I would be very surprised if in the back of her mind she isn't like a little bit suspicious of Danielle. So, but yeah, we're gonna see what happens. Wait. It's good. It's a good season.
Appreciate the multiple episode drops though.
Me too. They do that every week. It's never. I don't think it's ever just one. So that's really good because you just can't just have just one. It just leaves you wanting more so badly. So
yeah, and each episode seems like it leads into the other.
Agreed.
Like there's not a natural stop. It doesn't seem like, at least.
I don't know exactly. And you know what? For next year, I really hope they kind of pick less obvious people because, like I told you, somebody that was on Big Brother has been a traitor every season so far. Stop doing it.
Oh,
Stop doing that. Like, make somebody like Dylan a traitor who you would never expect to be a traitor. That's who needs to be. I feel like they're being a little obvious sometimes because, like, I think Boston Rob is an obvious traitor too. Once they really think about it, I think the only one who's not super obvious is Carolyn and Bob. I don't think they were that obvious, except for how Bob cutting up, but.
Yeah, you would think that Bob wouldn't get picked as a traitor because he's just
You would
his
think he would.
personality is just too
Yeah.
loud. Yeah,
And
but
Carolyn is also very random as well, even though she's starting to act super sketchy, slinking around the house. They gonna be on to her soon.
yeah,
They really gonna
she's
be on to her
fake
soon.
vibes right now.
Yes,
We'll see. I'm
exactly.
excited. Just
Me
don't,
too.
please don't send Danielle and Bob home, please.
It's
Just
gonna
for
be
the
okay.
entertainment, because they are wild.
Literally, please keep them. Please keep them. But yeah, y'all let us know if y'all are watching the season of the Traitors. I feel like by the time this episode comes out, we might know the final fate of TikTok.
Yeah.
They had the Supreme Court hearing, or I guess whatever you want to call it, on Friday about whether the Supreme Court was going to uphold the TikTok ban. I have seen a lot of mixed reviews. At first, I was seeing a lot of lawyers and online journalists swearing up and down that it's a wrap for TikTok, that, you know, SCOTUS is going to uphold the ban. But then I started to see some people being like, they were asking questions. They always ask questions. You really shouldn't read too much into the questions because they could still go kind of either way. So as of today, it's not like set in stone what's going to happen to TikTok, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of erring on the side of caution and just kind of trying to wrap my brain around it going away because I really don't want to have hope. Because I don't want to be disappointed. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen so many mixed reviews. I see somebody talking about, oh, it got pushed back, like the end date got pushed back to March. Like, where the fuck did that come from? But
it has not happened. That's what they hope could happen. That has
yeah,
not happened as of this
and that's what's
recording.
like, I just have to tap out and just
Mm-hmm.
learn when, all the pieces fall into place. Cause like so many
Yeah.
different opinions, so many different speculations, it's just too much. But
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that that's not the outcome, but also, yeah, it ain't looking too good right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. I mean, you know, Congress kind of screwed us when it came to this. I mean, they passed it. A lot of Democrats in Congress who voted yes on the ban had the audacity to be like, they don't think it's actually going to get banned. They didn't think it was actually going to happen. What the fuck did you vote yes for then? If that's not what you wanted. Just yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will miss TikTok greatly, and if it does end up happening, we will definitely talk a lot more about our feelings about it on the next episode. But as of right now, we don't know. It could go either way. It's not looking great. Everybody is, you know, saying goodbye on
Yeah.
TikTok. I've seen a ton
Follow
of
me here,
that.
follow me there. Yeah.
I hope it doesn't come to pass, but if it will, then if it does, my advice to everybody is to, touch grass and let's not run to Meta because that's exactly why this is happening, and that's what Zuck wants, and we shouldn't give him the satisfaction, which is why we got Discord now.
Yeah, I think he's thinking like, oh, all these people are gonna come over. And obviously some people will, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna be as big of an influx as they are anticipating. It just TikTok is just it's just TikTok. You can't recreate that on another app. Even going to YouTube, you can't recreate what magic the TikTok has.
I mean,
Their
especially
algorithm, all
with the timing of him rolling back all their DEI initiatives and
that. Mhm.
getting rid of fact checkers on the platform, like y'all couldn't at least waited until the nail was in TikTok's coffin to do this. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
it's even like he's very confident that yeah, I ain't got nowhere to go, so we're gonna do whatever the hell we
And
want to
it's
do.
like, did you see what happened to Twitter, sir? Like, people aren't scared to log off. People are not as dependent on social media as what people like him seem to think. And like you
Mm.
said, obviously some people are going to turn to those meta platforms, but a lot of people are just going to just turn it off and go to YouTube or just offline completely, cuz yeah, this is not good. And we don't want it to be good for him. So,
I hate to see him win. I
yeah.
hate him like Kendrick hates Drake.
Yeah. He sucks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, y'all, we will keep y'all posted. Y'all are gonna know by time. Hopefully, we all know by the time this episode comes out. So no need to DM. Like, did y'all see what happened? They did, man. TikTok. Okay, we know. We're very much online.
We will definitely be. We are
We will.
tapping
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, you won't be breaking
Mm-hmm.
news to us.
You will not. You absolutely will not. Exactly. But yeah, on that note, y'all, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to finish out the show. All right, y'all. So we are back. And before we finish up the episode, I just kind of wanted to talk about what we are doing to really get this new year started off well, as far as our planning, habits, goals, things like that. I feel like this is just a conversation you have to have at the top of every year, especially if you're in the planner community like we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know something that I have typically been very bad at doing, but I've actually been very good and consistent with so far this year is really tracking my habits and really holding myself accountable and really marking off when I have like no spend days, when I read, when I'm active, things like that. I have been doing a very good job at habit tracking so far, and I'm proud of myself for the first 12 days of the year.
No, that's accomplishment for sure. I struggle with that a lot too. I've been keeping up with it. I've been doing this 12-week year, and that has been very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I am a certified procrastinator.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to think like, okay, I want to accomplish XYZ by December 2025, I got plenty of time. So I don't start and then I look up and it's fucking November.
Girl, that's how it always is.
So like going with this 12-week year and knowing that, hey, you only got 12 weeks. You only have till March. You don't have till December. It's really been like helping to keep me on track. I do feel like last week we had those snow days and everything. I felt like I kind of got out of whack because I was really expecting like, okay, this is the week that's going to be, normal for us, like back to normal off of school breaks and stuff. And it just wasn't that. So I feel a little rocky from there, but
I think that's fair.
Still been able to kind of keep up overall with tracking.
Right. Yeah, I think that's definitely fair because when things like that happen and they kind of like knock off your normal schedule and what you were expecting to be doing, it's totally fair to be like, okay, next week is going to be normal. So let's try again.
Yeah. And there's a few days where I feel like I still kept up with things last week. I'm trying not to be like, throw this week away. Let me start over. Right. I'm trying to take it day by day instead of, because, a week can just continue to flow and then it's a month and then it's like, okay, next quarter kind of thing. So
that's true. Because if you're always pushing stuff back, you're going to always push stuff back.
Yeah.
You're going to find a reason. Like, that's just how we are. And something that's helping me keep up with my habit trackers is one of my trackers is literally to fill out my trackers. So like that's something that I mark off. I love that as well. And it's really just been helping me. I don't know. It's just been helping me stay focused so far this month and really just doing the little things that I want to get done and be more consistent in. Like something I'm definitely trying to be more consistent in is reading. I'm about 2/3 of the way through my first book of the year. And especially with all the craziness happening on social media and in the world right now, reading has definitely started to be a little bit more of an escape for me. So I am excited to just explore that and really have fun with that.
Yeah. I need to get back into it. I finished this book I was reading in 2024. So I'm still counting because I finished it in 2025. I
think that's fair. I think that's totally fair.
But I'm like, I don't have anything like lined up. Like I don't have a TBR right now. So I'm like, dang, I really need to figure out like what else I can be reading right now. Cause right now I haven't really been reading. I had one night where I like stayed up to like 3 a.m. because the book got so good. I'm like,
I love that.
This is what the girls be talking about.
We're book girls now. I love it for us.
I'm like, I want to have another one of those moments. So it's like I'm trying to figure out like
Yeah.
what is what's going to be my next book.
Yeah.
And I'll figure it out because y'all be giving me suggestions and then it overwhelms me. So I'll just figure
Mm-hmm.
it out.
You got this. You got this. And
Yeah.
you know what? Something that has helped me is just kind of doing different genres than what I thought I really liked or what I normally do. So, like, I'm a big thriller girl, but like one thing I did, I was like, I think I want to try to read something different. So, like, the book that I'm really into now is like a romance comedy type of book,
Mm,
and I'm really, really loving the switch up. So, yeah, you know.
dang. I've been in my young adult era for a very long time. So maybe I'll find something else.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good.
Yep. And you know
Especially
what?
the one.
Exactly. And that's one reason, another reason why I will miss TikTok if it goes away, because you just get so many good suggestions. Or even if you see a book that you're curious about and then you just go search it up on TikTok, you just have so many videos of people talking about it and stuff. That just has helped me a ton. And that's definitely how I found this book. So
Yeah, not
mm-hmm.
the same vibe on the other platforms. I don't feel like I've gotten a bunch of suggestions. Well, also I haven't really been on Instagram a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
But from the YouTube aspect of it, like I don't really TikTok is why is it going away? I
No.
need it because it's like with YouTube, I feel like I'm one note on YouTube. They
Yeah.
know I like this, so I'm not
Yeah.
gonna get book suggestions. I'm
Right,
not
right,
gonna get
right.
random recipes or funny skits or something. But I feel like TikTok knows like my multiple interests, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So
Yes,
they
yes,
feed me the
yes.
right stuff. I don't
Yeah,
really
I
get that
think
on YouTube.
the other platforms are just kind of one note and one
Yeah.
dimensional when it comes to that. Whereas like TikTok, it's okay to have varying interests and you get fed very interesting.
Mhm.
Hey, you get fed stuff that you didn't even know that you was interested in, but it just works. And it's very rare that you get stuff that you absolutely hate or have no interest in whatsoever. So yeah, I hope the other platforms, not Meta, but like YouTube
Drag that.
is able to kind of do more, things to like tailor to our like particular like interests and stuff. And yeah, for the past like month, I've really been going out of my way to follow all my faves from TikTok on whatever other platform they're on. I'm just following them on those other platforms because and there's the thing I was thinking too, like not to go back to the TikTok situation, but there are a lot of people who I don't follow who their video would just come up randomly. I'm like, damn, like I'm gonna really miss this person and their insight, and they're not even somebody I typically see or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mhm.
you just really just got so many different voices and perspectives on TikTok, and that's going to be greatly missed. But without TikTok, like I said, that does leave some room for some other things and interests, and I'm definitely gonna try to focus more on like my good habits and stuff that I really want to keep up. So.
Yeah. Another thing that I want to kind of get into the habit of is being a lot more active on both of my Discords.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yes.
and if TikTok is not here, that will be helpful because it won't take up time.
I mean, look, the time that's going to be opened up from a
Yeah.
possible TikTok man it's pretty
Yeah, I
epic.
want to fill that time with community. Like I feel like this
Yes.
one of the themes that seems to be screaming out for 2025 is having that community and continuing to like
Mm-hmm.
build on it and help it grow. So that's one of the goals for this year for sure.
I totally agree. I totally
Uh,
agree.
but yeah, do you have any goals that you are willing to share? Well, I mean, I guess you shared your reading one.
Yeah, reading. I'm trying to read at least one book a month. Which look, I don't want y'all book talkers and bookstagram people to be coming in here judging. Okay, some of us don't read all the time. Okay, some of us look at other platforms for entertainment as well, such as TV and movies. So
Yeah.
reading one book a month would really be a lot for me. So yeah, I'm just able to do that. I hope I'm able to be like more like consistently active as far as getting in some type of activity and movement every single day. And I really want to save some money and I really want to pay off some things, stuff like that or whatever, some financial goals for sure. But if Beyonce goes on tour, that's it's
That's a
harder.
wrap. Yeah.
Right.
I will say I have been pretty consistent with just simply like my goal, because I have a love-hate relationship with money, as most of us do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
my goal is to just track what I'm spending, because honestly,
Yes.
seeing what I'm spending is so much help. It's so helpful for me, because especially I'm digital with pretty much
Mm-hmm.
all of my money. I don't use cash rarely, so it doesn't. I'm not seeing it leave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I've been doing really good, and that has been honestly helping to save a little bit, because it's like, damn,
Yeah.
you just bought this, like no, we can't we can't do X, Y, and Z.
100% track and
Yeah.
spending is huge for me as well. And also with just like the initial like mindfulness when it comes to purchasing certain things and like
Hmm.
not letting myself buy stuff like on a whim soon as I see it, like actually giving myself. So I have like one of my Hobonichis, I have like it's like one of those like built in like 100 things list that's like in the
Yeah.
back of the
Yeah.
Hobonichi. So I've been using that to just be like a wish list of stuff that I want to get. So instead of me like just buying it automatically, I'm gonna put it on my wish list, see if I want it after a couple weeks or whatever. And if I still really want it, then that could be something I can either make my husband buy for me, or I could just buy it for myself. Because honestly, like I have made like a couple purchases from some sticker shops lately, and then I'm just like after like maybe a couple weeks later, I'm just like, I really didn't need to buy that. Why am I buying that? And so I've been trying to be more mindful about not purchasing certain stuff unless I'm like sure that I want it and not just buying stuff on a whim. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to use your
mm-hmm.
my 100. I've been using
Mm-hmm.
it for the messiest quotes that I've heard throughout
I got a
the
messy quote page too. Actually,
year.
because they have a quote section in the A6 Hobonichi. So I've been
Oh,
using it
okay.
for like social media comments that I've seen that has been hilarious. So I've just been writing them there. It's gonna be a lot harder if TikTok goes away because that's where all the hilarious
Yeah,
comments come
that's
from
where they
now.
are.
Nobody is funny on Instagram, unfortunately. But yeah, I got a couple so far. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Uh, but yeah, just keeping up with that
Mm-hmm.
spinning. And I'm hearing like overall for me is tracking,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so easy to kind of just get caught up in the day to day, going through the motions and not realizing like how much you're spending, or
Yeah,
how much you're, not reading, or, whatever your goal is. So like
exactly.
tracking and keeping myself accountable of like seeing what's going on is going to
Mm-hmm.
be a real huge move. I'm doing that in Notion, of course.
Yes.
Um, other than the quotes, because I
Mm-hmm.
just think that's just funny to just write down random quotes. But just, yeah, just keeping up with everything. And I think for me, tracking has been a little bit easier doing it digital, because I
Mm-hmm.
can do it from my bed. I can do
Yeah, that's
it
true.
while I'm purchasing something on the go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just been a little bit better for me than to like sit down
I love it.
and write it down. So
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I had to make fill out tracker one of my trackers to like so I will be mindful of like, okay, at the end of every day, I'm sitting down with my planner and I'm checking these boxes to make sure I did these things, including filling out my trackers. And also, I have been using journaling prompts. So my Coffee Monsters Code, they come out with journaling prompts every month for the whole
Mhm.
entire month. So at the beginning of January, I wrote all the journaling prompts in my A6, and I've been doing those every single day. So that's been helping. I mean, yeah, it's been just helping me just write something, even if I don't have much else to write. At least I have that to write about. So that's been good too.
Yeah, prompts are really, really awesome for
Mm-hmm.
that, for sure. Just because, some days you're just like, I don't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah,
So
literally.
there you got the
Mm-hmm.
prompt.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, y'all let us know if y'all want to share any of your 2025 goals, what you're doing to form good habits in the new year. If the new year still has not started for you and you're just gonna start on February 1st, that's totally fair as well. But feel free to chime in, especially if you're watching on YouTube. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on this episode. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can get a plum paper planner if your year is starting on February 1st.
There you go. Plum paper got you covered. No shame. This is a shame-free zone. Okay.
But yeah, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. And I
Mhm.
guess we will see y'all in a few weeks.
Bye, y'all.